All right, abusua incha on yesa so emo akwaba emre channel so ha eda so aye be media gh abusua be so wase ene ne dey connect channel so ni dey no bu kwan so abusua be so wase be subscribe like na wabo so share ma for pension bi atie no anya bi atie na abusua ene Dr. Honorable Break-Zenator Rawlings, yes, Honorable Dr. Break-Zenator Rawlings abusua ene wadi nkomo ewo eye parliament, yes, die nkomo ene wadi abusua yebeko ne yakwa kotie die nkomo so na abusua chese die nsem eno ka kire eye the minority leader Honorable AfenyoMarkins abusua yebeko ne yatie ni na ha eda so aye be media je abusua bese wase ene de dika wani twa channel so ne di no buo kwan so abusua bese wase be subscribe dia my channel bo notification bell no so for more podcast updates abusua be channel so e dia my abusua ha yeni atem ya adwen ena ye kire e wo de ye hu ene ne ayete e wo social media so abusua bomodi aso be kire wadwen kama e wo ye comment section
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity to make a statement on the need for affordable staff cafeteria facilities within corporate and institutional premises to promote urban order, worker welfare, and social security compliance. Mr. Speaker, I rise to make this statement as a matter of public urgency and the need for the provision of affordable food services within large corporate and institutional premises, including hospitals, banks, ministries, major private sector establishments, including Parliament, as this is becoming more and more relevant. Mr. Speaker, in many of these institutions, we have contract staff and permanent staff who come from different income levels, and there are laborers, cleaners, security personnel, national service personnel, clerical staff, managers, and chief executives. Yet the internal food services available within these establishments are often priced beyond the reach of the lowest paid workers. As a result, these workers are compelled to seek food from informal vendors operating on roadsides, pavements, and sometimes even in proximity to high security or ceremonial zones. This creates multiple challenges. First, it undermines the efforts by metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies to enforce sanitation and decongestion regulations. Secondly, it contributes to congestion around critical installations and ceremonial routes, making it difficult to maintain order and security where it's most required. It also exposes the workers to unsafe and unhygienic conditions, which have implications on our public health and productivity at work. Mr. Speaker, we have already witnessed that there are successful models that demonstrate that this challenge can be addressed through deliberate planning. The Rawlings canteen, located within the ministry's enclave, which serves workers across several ministries, has long provided accessible and affordable options for a wide range of public servants and other professionals. Food options include red, fufu, banku, various rice dishes, and even fruits. Similarly, the food court located within the Opebia House parking complex, which serves staff from institutions such as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other organizations in the area, shows how food vendors can be properly integrated into building infrastructure. In that case, vendors operate within designated spaces embedded within the facility and pay a modest monthly fee that contributes to sanitation and maintenance of the food courts. These examples illustrate that when food services are intentionally incorporated into institutional design and priced to be inclusive, the pressure that pushes vendors and workers into unauthorized spaces significantly reduces. Mr. Speaker, I therefore propose that relevant regulatory authorities, including the Ministry of Works and Housing, the Ministry of Local Governments, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, and our metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies, consider developing guidelines that encourage and, where appropriate, require large institutions, corporate entities, and public facilities to incorporate affordable cafeteria or food court services within their premises. Such facilities should be designed to cater to all categories of workers, regardless of income level, and should be integrated into planning approvals for major developments. Mr. Speaker, by embedding affordable food services into institutional environments, we can improve worker welfare, supports orderly urban planning management, and strengthens compliance with local regulations. It is a practical, preventive solution that benefits all of us to work towards policy and planning frameworks and stakeholder engagements that reflect this reality. Thank you very much for this opportunity, Mr. Speaker.
As does the statement ably made, the floor is now open for comment.
Security. And the president may feel that this is the person who can do the job. So if you start imposing those age or years rigidities into appointments, there are many who are even advocating that we should reduce the number of years that somebody is qualified to be a presidential candidate. I'm saying that the person must have 10 years, then indirectly you are imposing age restrictions. When is he going to university? When is he going to start that professional career? And then, ultimately do 10 years. You are pushing the age bracket to at least 5. The fate of security coordinators when their president stop trusting them. When their president stop trusting them, that's the end of your job. So I think we should leave it this way and allow the president to decide who he wants to appoint as his coordinator.
Well, Minority Leader.
Well, Speaker, I agree with him on some aspects of his submissions, but he doesn't address the mainstay of my argument regarding the proposed amendment. But, Mr. Speaker, Hansard has already captured me. I don't need to belabor. You may have to put the question for the House to decide.
Well, honourable members, as
the minority leader is now asking us to define what is relevant professional experience. It may become a subject of another litigation. Yeah, working, it will still be interpreted. What does relevant working experience mean, Mr. Speaker? So we urge him to withdraw so we can.
Mr. Speaker, I don't find a compelling argument from the other side to warrant a withdrawal of my motion. I still hold a view that as important as that office is, some threshold, and some threshold must be introduced to guide the president. Mr. Speaker, an unchecked power can be abused. An unchecked power can be abused. There's a reason why consistently, when we have our own laws, we introduce some age limitation, we introduce some qualifications. The argument that the majority leader just made, we can also have a genius who is so smart, intelligent, that even at 25 he can become president. But the Constitution says minimum 40 years. We can have a smart person who at even age 12 can do things that 25-year-olds do. But the Constitution says 21 qualifies you to be a member of parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, that argument doesn't find favor with me, respectfully, to say that in this ICT age, you can have a genius who is so smart in AI or digital intelligence, and the president may want to keep him there. Yes, but the president would also have to be guided, apart from trust, must be guided by the nature of the office. Mr. Speaker, why is it that we don't just appoint anybody as a foreign minister? Why is it that in all the UN or diplomatic appointment, when it gets to appointing somebody as Ghana's representative to the UN in, say, Geneva, we are careful who goes to Geneva as our representative, and not just about somebody who represents us in a country as our ambassador. So, Mr. Speaker, we are careful depending on which portfolio we are giving to who. I believe that introducing this minimum qualification suffices in the circumstances, but let us leave it to the floor to decide. I'm unable to withdraw. I thank you, sir.
Honourable members, we've been living with Act 526, and then we moved to Act 1030. But these requirements are not part of our laws. No, we need to understand. Has the current positions brought about some problems that will necessitate the amendment? Well, you don't intend to answer my question, but you want me to put a question on your proposed amendment. I will do so. I'm putting the question on the amendment proposed by Alexander AfenyoMarkins. As in V, all those in favor, those against say no.
Right Honourable Speaker, we wish to abandon this proposal for the appointment of a Deputy National Security Coordinator so that it's left to the discretion of the appointing authority as opposed to legislating it into.
Very well. It is for the consideration of the House. The amendment is accordingly abandoned. Then I'll put a question on the entire clause 15. As many as are in favor of clause 15 standing part of the bill as amended, say aye. Those against say no. That is
1. Delete clause 1 off, and in line 2 after appoint, delete any.
All members, the proposal is for the consideration of the House. I'll put a question. Those in favor of the chairperson's amendment, say aye.